Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, episode 237, coming to you live by the Total Non-Stop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, basically wherever you listen to your favourite shows, we are there. I am, of course, your host, Bison, and today I'm joined by the man coming to us from the void of his own brain, of course, the Joker. Hello, buddy.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. Just been wondering where Craig is. He's obviously still away.
Yeah, he's not back from Holland yet. I think he's on his way back tonight but I've spoken to him. He's had a bloody great time over there. The heat wave is just as bad there as it is here. It's been like 36, 37 degrees at least over there.
Wow. It's been insane, isn't it? It's been absolutely insane over here.
It's been terrible.
We just don't see these kind of temperatures that we've had over the last few days. We just don't get it.
No, it's like over the last 5 or 6 years, it's been once or twice every bloody February.
Oh yeah, totally. Hey, Graveyard Ship Wrestling Show. Thanks for joining us. But no, Bill very rarely comes on to Impacted. He does the review show. Impacted is the UK team of myself, Joe, and Craig, who is he's a superstar DJ doing his work in Holland this past week or so. So he's not around. He's very, very busy man. But he's doing that. But you've just got the two of us. You've got the Bison and you got
the OGs.
The OGs, baby. Yeah, the OGs of TNI-UK are here.
Oh God, it does feel weird saying that.
We are the OGs, baby.
Yeah. Wow, can't believe I'm still here.
yeah, man. Totally. Hey, Norris, how are you, my friend? Nice to see you. Mir's in the house as well. Who else have we got here? Let's have a look. See what we got. Gibster.
Paul Mathewson.
Paul Mathewson's in with us as well. Oh yeah, so we got a few people in with us already, which is fab. We do love having you guys join us as early as you can possible in the show because it's really cool. Really, it's really cool to have you. But apparently says come into the Highlands. We rarely get too hot. I'm sure, Paul. So you're from Scotland then, Paul? I didn't realise that.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. Norris Bright said you love watching an explosion and then watching my interview yesterday. I appreciate that, Norris.
Damn good interview.
Well, been a little while.
Yeah.
It's, managed to get one in there with Harley Hudson and fantastic girl and great addition to the TNA knockouts division. But dude, let's have a good old chat about all the news rumors. We're going to do a recap of the week of everything that's been going down. But TNA have announced a free tier now for the TNA Plus app. So I mean, it doesn't include. I'm not sure what it includes, to be honest. I didn't sort of kind of check it out, but I'm assuming it's just anything but kind of like the most up-to-date content.
Right? I think it's like when they started their Twitch channel and when the Impact Plus app had just had the free service, it was like they just stream back-to-back Impact episodes or something like that, and or random matches and that. And I think that's what the free one is, as well as you get access to certain episodes of Impact as well. Mm-hmm. And the Explosion will be free as well because that's free on YouTube as well. So that'll be the free thing too.
Okay, yeah, because it's on. Am I right in thinking it's on Plus? Talk about Explosion now.
Yeah.
It's on Plus on a Friday, and then it goes on to YouTube on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right. So, and from what I can gather, they're thinking about doing the same with Impact now, aren't they? So they're on about obviously airing it on Plus on a Thursday and then airing it either on a Friday or a Monday. I can't remember now. On YouTube for free.
Right? That's cool. That's a brilliant idea if they're going to do that.
Well, I think it's a good idea. It certainly will pull in the casuals potentially.
Yeah.
My only worry is that it sort of kind of annoys people a little bit that they're having to pay for it and then it turns up for free. But then, having said that, you're paying for the privilege of getting to watch it as it airs, as opposed to you know, getting spoilers and all that kind of stuff, I suppose. But hey guys, from Eric there, nice to see you. There you go. Look, Norris watches it on Tuesday, so do I, to be honest. Although to be fair, sometimes I don't get to watch it until today.
Yeah.
What I tend to do is I tend to have a quick catch up and a scan through it, watch the interview with Jayne Miller, watch that a little bit. Sometimes I watch a little bit of the retro match, depending on what that is, and then check out the main event. I love it when there's more than one. I like it when there's one at the top and one at the end. I do love that. It's the best part of that, really.
I prefer it that way.
But like the Gibbs was saying, good to see another Scouser join the knockout division. Great interview. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like 3 stars now. That's close as I can get to a hometown hero is Harley Hudson and Zaya Brookside from Liverpool. Leon Slater from Bradford. The only ironic thing is that I don't originally come from the northwest or rather the north of England. So it's like I finally got someone who I can relate to and who's going to represent my area, but I'm not fucking from it.
It doesn't matter though. It's cool because they are where you are. And Eric Isaac celebrated his birthday watching the best of PCO. Left hits out. I agree. Left hits out, baby. But I wouldn't mind watching the best of PCO, like when he was in his prime. That would have been pretty cool. But there you go. Anyway, the breaking news is that Santino Marella announced he's listened to the fans, and the Slammiversary main event for the TNA World Championship will now be a 3-way as Mike Santana has been added to the match. Now we all knew this. I mean, I think we all knew Mike was going to be involved in this.
Yeah.
I think they did the whole, getting Joe, announcing it was going to be Joe and versus Trick first, so that everybody sort of kind of was in outcry.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. We wanted Mike and all that kind of stuff, and then boom, there he is. I'm pretty sure that was the plan all along, but at least it created a bit of a storm on the socials. So it did the trick, didn't it?
It also wraps up. Both of them were screwed out of their world title shot originally, and then their rematch. So now they can actually settle the score.
That's true. That is very true.
Trick Williams loses, he's probably going to go to Raw SmackDown now, so the title's definitely coming home.
Well, there is. I mean, the way I look at it, by adding 2 TNA roster talents in there, then you if we don't want to get into the Steiner math of it all, but it certainly increases the odds of a TNA return. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Now, it's also been announced this week that the TNA Big on sale with tickets now available for Baltimore on August 15th, which is Emergence. We've got 16th, which is August 16th, which is going to be the Impact tapings. Then we go to Minneapolis for September 4th, which is a live Impact. On the 5th, they're going to do an Impact taping there. And then we head to Edmonton on September the 26th for Victory Road. And then the 27th, we've got some Impact tapings. It wasn't so long. It was only a couple of weeks ago. People were moaning that they haven't released any more dates. But
there you go, guys.
We've definitely got it now, all the way up to the end of September.
It's incredible. Setting that bound for glory brilliantly.
Yeah, and some real nice venues as well.
Yeah, big venues.
Bigger venues and bigger venues. So they're pushing it. Baltimore Emergence. I'm tempted.
I would if I could.
It's on the East Coast, which means that the airfare is not so expensive and it's not such a long flight. I could pop over on a Friday, take in Emergence.
I would if I could.
Fly back Sunday after the tapings. I'm tempted. I'm going to have to look into that one. But anyway, but it's good to see that we've got all these dates now added. Still a bit disappointing to see that they're not heading back to the UK anytime soon. But who knows? I suppose we've still got later in the year. Maybe November. I can't see it happening in October, but maybe November.
That'd be nice.
I don't know. We'll see. No, I think November would be good actually, because I mean, what would you have there? Turning Point, I suppose that's what.
Turning Point would be about November. Yeah, and they had it in Newcastle when they came down last time. Turning Point was in Newcastle.
That's right.
Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey was one of the matches.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
At that one. Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed it. That was a good show. That it's a decent venue as well. To be fair, I don't know, there had to been at least 1,500 people in there. It was a half decent venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the place was absolutely rammed. It was jammed, which was good, which is really good. That's where Moose grabbed me out of the crowd and said, "Hey, Bison." Yeah, I was like,
fuck.
It was so funny because he was walking through and he's like, "Hey, Bison." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And then we had a chat, and there was people that were in the around me. You could see they were like, "How the fuck?" You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck's this? But yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool. But of course, the last show that I went to was the Emergence in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm tempted. I like the Emergence show. I'm tempted. Anyway, moving on. Cedric Alexander not only debuts on last week's Impact, but he's also been added to the roster page and given a promo code of PRYME, PRYME, to gain 1 month free on access to TNA Plus.
Wow.
That's a good sign, right?
Definitely. Wow, we got another major player added to the roster.
Well, I mean, they've not announced that he's like officially signed or anything like that, but I mean, come on. I mean, if you're giving
Victoria Crawford's not been announced that she's signed, but she's still on the roster page, and she's even got a birthday shout from TNA, so she's essentially part of the roster.
Well, let's mention that actually while we're here, shall we? Should we mention that straight away? Happy birthday, of course, to TNA Knockout Victoria Crawford.
Happy birthday.
There you go. So, or is it belated birthday anyway?
Yeah, belated it would be, yeah.
I thought it was funny actually because BQ shared that earlier today saying it's not too late for Rachel Ellerin. I was like,
we don't want another party gate.
I had to laugh at that one because that was kind of like, that was
it was fantastic.
Rachel throw my dummy and toys out of the pram.
Yeah, and the shred was buried out. It was brilliant. That was
Jesus really Christ. Unbelievable. Anyway, but also, guys, I don't know whether you've noticed this, but there you go. Hang on, Barry Monkey is Crawford signed. Well, I don't know, but she's sticking around.
Yeah.
She seems to be sticking around. She's got a visual on the website, and she seems to be having matches. So I don't know. She's either signed or, she's committed to a certain amount of dates, or maybe she's on one of them sort of 6-month deals. I don't know, but she's certainly around. That's for sure. Which is great, and also she's proven to be pretty damn good as well. I think her matches have been pretty good. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, she's rubbish, and actually, I think she's all right. But anyway, talking about the TNA knockouts, the socials have been going crazy, pushing friend of the show, Vicious Vicky Vardona, to be signed to the TNA knockouts roster.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we've been pushing that as well, but there's been loads of TNA fans that have been pushing Vicky. What are your thoughts on that, Joe? Have you seen it?
I have, yeah. If you look at the banner down below, guys, you'll see I'm pushing it every week. I'm going to be pushing it every week, yeah. If we don't say it out loud, we'll be saying it across the screen. At least sign Vicious Vicky. Come on, Tommy. You know what you need to do.
Yeah, I think she'd make an amazing addition to the roster. I really do. But yeah, there you go. Somerset, what's he saying there? Bring him up. With less than 2 hours of TV a week, how are TNA going to showcase all this talent? Cedric, of course, is a talented guy, but TNA are totally reliant on new signings for buzz. How about some angles? Hello, Somerset. How are you? I don't think they are. I think they've got a lot of stuff going on at the moment. But I know what you're saying. I think all they need to do is bring back the 2-match
Explosion.
Yeah, 2 matches for Explosion. I think if they do that, and they need to start cross promote. They need to stop. They need to do more of this sort of kind of crossing over the storylines as well. So if you think about kind of like you've got NXT, Impact, and Explosion,
yeah,
you could sort of kind of really showcase quite a lot over that now. I think he could anyway. But anyway, talking about like Explosion and the fact that there was a match on there with regards to the Elegance brand, I just want to bring up also during a meet and greet, the Elegance brand get into a physical confrontation with the Iinspiration. Now I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
It was on the socials and they were making a big old thing about that. But I was like, it's obviously set up because they're feuding. And
yeah,
the cameras were there.
Ash's response to like this all happened like when the live impact. They showed that live impact after last week or so. So it's it was floating around for about a week, and people and as soon as it broke on the internet, then By Elegance was saying, "This is not a work. This is not a work." I'm fucking pissed off at these two have come back and gone straight, thinking they're going to go straight in for a title shot when I've been busting my ass. So you can see that she really, really, took your attention away from it just being fake, or I'm trying to think of working the fans or anything like that. It was all like planned.
Yeah, of course it was. It was all planned out. It was all part of the
By Elegance, the way she carried it on and just shooting down anyone saying it's all a work and everything, and really, really venting her frustration.
Yeah, man.
That's just brilliant character development from her to start off with, and it just had me. And so of course, I eventually knew it was built up to how things are going to be going when. But still, it was just when I saw the backstage footage, and then Impact were asking everyone to send their fan footage as well, so they can have a look at what was going on. That's that all created the chaos. Was this
that old chestnut? Chestnut. They just so happened to be there. Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, it's obviously helping set things up, and I like the way that TNA use the socials. I do. I like the way they use socials to sort of kind of help bolster stuff over as well, which I think it does work to a certain degree, but they have to make sure that whatever they do when it comes to socials is on all of it, because not all the fans are on X, not all the fans are on Facebook or Insta. They've got to make sure. Some of them are just on, one. Some people are just on Insta. You know what I mean? Some people are just on Facebook. Some people are just on X. Not all of us. So if you're going to do it, you need to make sure that you plow it out over everything. It certainly would help, that's for sure. Would you like to see TNA women's match at WWE Evolution 2? Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've got a battle royal or something, haven't they? On this event, I'm not sure, but I saw Zaya Brookside saying that if they're going to be having a battle royal or anything, then she'll happily get jumping.
Exactly.
Even if you just bring some of the knockouts in for a battle royal, don't have to give them a match unless you can get a feud between Masha and Jacy, Jayne fired up already, and give them a taster for what they're going to be bringing to Slammiversary.
I think it would be good though. It would be good if they could get like a one-on-one match, knockouts match, just to showcase the knockouts.
Yeah,
a bit.
That would be cool.
Or even if it was a tag match, you know what I mean? Like even if they had a tag match on there, that would be pretty. I mean, get Harley Hudson and Myla Grace on there. That would be pretty cool. I certainly know that Harley would be over the moon if she had the opportunity to do something like that, and that's for sure. But anyway, we were sort of kind of talking about Explosion as well. So let's get into Explosion. I mean, Jody Threat was sitting around the ring with Gia Miller, which was a nice interview actually. So if you haven't watched Explosion yet, all I do, and I'll be honest with you, right, all I actually do is I watch Around the Ring, because I quite like the Around the Ring. I like that, and I watch whatever the fresh match is. So that's it. I gloss through everything else. I would love it though if they brought back in the two match thing. So we have a fresh match at the start. We get a bit of a recap, maybe of the past week on Impact, something like that. And we get Gia Miller, we get the Around the Ring, and then we get a main event. I'd love to see that. So, but anyway, By Elegance and Harley Hudson. That's who it was. Okay, yes. They had a great main event. I thought it was a really, really good match. But again, shenanigans, as always, from the Elegance brand, picks up the win. Now, I hate seeing Harley and Myla keep losing because it
Yeah.
keeps me, because they've just been signed. I get it. There's got to be they've got to do their time. You know what I mean? It's not like I mean, Maggie Lee had a few losses as well, so it's kind of you've got to cut your teeth a little bit, and you've got to take a few L's, and I get it. I get it. But
plus, they got the concierge, and he's an absolute pain in the ass.
Yeah. So I just think it'd be nice to see the girls get a win, but we'll see. We'll see.
Maya Grace wants a piece of the Iceman now. She's made that clear.
Yeah, no, I agree.
She wants the Iceman. She wants his head.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I totally agree, and I'm totally down with Gibster. Gibster, you're right. I'm not saying it needs to be longer. I'm saying that cut out the the stuff that we don't really want to see. I don't want to see the Slammiversary match from like 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could, if I want to watch that, I could just go on to Plus to watch it.
Yeah.
Right. I want to see more fresh matches
Yeah.
on Explosion. That's what I want to see. I think you could easily squeeze in probably 2 fresh matches. If you took out the recap, you took out that social media post thing, get rid of that. You don't need that. I like the interview. That's quite nice.
Yeah.
To have the interview segment. You could throw in a few backstage promos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like what WWF Heat was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could throw in a few of those to help progress storylines and stuff like that. Yeah.
Christ, that's going along my back thinking about that now. Christ.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is that they could use Explosion a little bit better, I think. Let's get 2 fresh matches on there minimum. Get rid of and get some backstage promos. Let's see some story advancement.
Yeah.
And make Explosion a must see. That's the way I look at it. Make it must see. If you don't watch it, you're going to miss something.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? That's what I think they need to do. You're right, Mia. That's what I'm saying. They got to get a win soon because they'll make them look weak in the end otherwise. But they're just cutting their teeth. They're doing their time, doing their apprenticeships, and I'm sure it's going to come. Roy's asking Roy Farmer.
Hello, I would love to see AJ Styles come at Slammiversary.
I don't know.
Yeah. Seeing AJ Francis pull off a Styles clash like that, if AJ Styles could come down to the ring after he does that, Francis does that, but it'll probably be bound for glory now, because he's in the tag match with Casey Navarro and the Hardys and the Nemeths and the Rascalz. But Styles, if Francis wins the match with like Styles clash, and then have AJ Styles come down and just confront him and try and do it to Francis, that would be one of the biggest pops of the whole year, there.
I mean, you imagine AJ Styles turning up after a match at, Slammiversary. I think it would be cool. The only problem is, it would be cool, but the only problem is you need to let people know that AJ's going to be there, because that's going to sell tickets. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's my thought process anyway. But it would be cool to see him making some kind of appearance. And it wouldn't be the first time, would it? Because at the end of the day, he did appear via some video footage, didn't he?
Yeah.
A few years back, which was really cool. Nobody expected that, did they? Good Lord. So it's cool. But there you go, Roy. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, NXT TNA. Trick Williams joined commentary for the Joe Hendry and Wesley matchup. Lee's allies.
Looking fantastic.
He does.
He's amazing. Wow.
Lee's allies, Tyson and Tyreek, would get involved in the match, but Mike Santana evened the odds at ringside. Hendry regained control, pinning Lee following a thunderous standing ovation. But later that night, it was revealed that on July 22nd at the WWE The Great American Bash, Williams, Hendry, and Santana will sign the contract for their upcoming TNA World Championship match at Slammiversary. Now, while Hendry and Santana may not always see eye to eye, they must put their differences aside, as they will team up against Tyson, Tyreek next week on NXT.
That's going to be
now, interesting stuff here. They're doing the signing at the Great American Bash. Now, obviously, That is July 12th. So it's about a week or so before Slammiversary. Do you think, when that, effectively they're advertising Slammiversary for us.
Yeah.
We're going to push Slammiversary. Do you think that we'll suddenly see a surge of, we'll see a surge going on of
new viewers and things like that? Yeah, I hope so.
Tickets. I mean, ticket surge. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've no doubt. If the tickets aren't sold out already, they're definitely going flying off the shelf after the Great American Bash.
Well, I know that in the last week or so they've sold about
they've been doing
tickets. So
fantastic. They might need to increase the capacity if they can.
I'm hoping that. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
that,
Tommy was pushing for it too. He's saying that everyone. Guys, get these sold out and begin and go and try and increase the capacity for everyone.
Exactly, yeah. So I think they will. I think leading up that week or so, a little week and a half or so before, I think they'll sell everything out. They'll open up another 1,000 tickets. I'm pretty sure, and then there'll be that big push then to try and break the all-time attendance record for a TNA show. Which is what they're trying to do. That's what this is all about. Which would be cool. Very, very cool. Paul, I do think he's going to win the X Division title.
You got a new champion for the X Division. Leon Slater's going to win it. I'd love to see Moose break the record, but it would just mean him holding onto the title for a bit longer. And Leon Slater doesn't win it, so actually the whole place is going to erupt.
And this is what I think, okay, and I honestly believe, right, as well, that to not take the shine off Leon becoming the youngest X Division champion at Slammiversary, I think Trick Williams is going to pin Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
And retain, which will then lead to Santana versus Trick Williams, because Santana will say, well, look, I wasn't pinned.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then we'll get Santana versus Trick Williams one-on-one. Santana will win.
Yeah,
that's what I think, but we'll see.
That would be real cool. Bound for Glory or Victory Road get Santana and Trick Williams. That would be really cool.
I think it would be cool. I think it'd be brilliant. Now, later in the night, it was revealed that... I've already gone to that. What am I talking about? Let's get into the Impact recap then.
Here's the Mass Dog.
Let's have a good old chat about last week's Impact and see where we get with that. Now, we kick off things with Joe Hendry, who thanks the fans for their continued support. July 20th at Slammiversary, Hendry will get his rematch against Trick Williams for the TNA World Championship. Again, a great crowd reaction for Joe. There's no doubt that he doesn't now need a title. He doesn't. He's over. That's it. He is over with the crowd. He doesn't need a title. The crowd absolutely love him, and which is great. And it's good to see. And actually, what I mentioned that on NXT, he did get a good crowd reaction this week.
Yeah,
he didn't last week, which I thought I don't know. He seemed to get a better reaction this week on NXT than he did the previous week. Anyway, let's put it that way. We then went backstage, and Killer Kelly vows to take the Knockouts World Championship from Masha Slamovich, of course, next week. As of course you would expect. Of course, that's what she wants to do.
Damn right.
Yeah, damn right. So I think everyone, is keen to see this one. That's for sure. Then we get Zachary Wentz, who defeats Nick Nemeth's little brother Ryan in what I thought was actually a good match. I think Ryan Nemeth is coming on. I think he's turned into a pretty good wrestler. What do you think?
Yeah, he is impressing me every time I see him in the ring. He's a really solid worker. I knew that already, but his actual in-ring ability and that you're really seeing it shine through a lot more now. And this match against Wentz was incredible. Was really, really good.
No, I thought it was good.
That spike DDT like Mickey James does, that was really, really, really impressive. The way he sells moves really well too.
He's a good seller, and clearly he's good at character work. I find his voice grinds my gears. It's a bit like Alicia Edwards. She grinds her voice just gets right. Very annoying. And I find that with him, but I sometimes wonder, is he putting that voice on, or is that really his voice? I don't know, but yeah, I think the fact that we are totally immersed in hating him tells you that he's doing a really, really good job. But after the match, the Rascalz are ready for another fight, but the Nemeths back down. So we get So I think we're going to see, obviously, another match between those.
Yeah,
guys,
we've got
but,
Trey Miguel and Nick Nemeth this week.
yes, but I think we're going to see another showdown between the Rascalz and the Nemeths as well.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Gia Miller then catches up with a confident Trick Williams, or Tricky Wills, or whatever. Was it Tricky Willie, or whatever he calls himself?
I don't have a clue.
Who predicts that AJ Francis will be victorious in tonight's street fight against Mike Santana. Of course he does, because he's first class now.
Yeah.
We then get the Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich, who wants her match against Killer Kelly next week to be a chain match. Then we get TNA NXT liaison Ariana Grace informed Slammiversary that she has something big in the works. Of course, we then find out later what that was, but Slammiversary is like, "Ooh, that's interesting." But yeah, that's how we find out that obviously next week's match is going to be the chain match, which I thought was pretty cool. Again, there's some nice backstage segments already on the show, helping forward storylines and set things up, which I thought was pretty good. Again, see, this is where I sort of kind of disagree a little bit with Somerset, because I think that they sometimes the storylines are a little bit thin, but I think that they do build things slowly but surely. And I think you just have to sort of kind of sit back and take everything in and just let things build. It doesn't have to build like within 2 minutes, you know what I mean? Let's just give it a bit of time. And I actually prefer it like that way. Roy's saying he thinks Mike Samaton will win the TNA World Title Slammiversary. Fair play. There you go.
Yeah,
I think you might be right. I think the assumption, but that's the thing.
Yeah,
TNA are not known for giving people exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what it throws me. But there you go. Now, once we've gone from the backstage, we then go into the ring, and of course, the ring is full of knockouts, including the Iinspiration, the Elegance Brand. We get Ying Lee, Tessa Blanchard, Indy Hartwell, Rosemary Zaya Brookside, Tasha Steeles, Jody Threat, Danny Luna, Victoria Crawford, Alicia Edwards, Harley Hudson, Myla Grace, Jada Stone, of course, recently signed, and Myla Moore, and Katie Arquette. As they all vie for the future Knockouts World title opportunity. But after earlier in the match disappearing, Ash By Elegance appears and eliminates both Tessa Blanchard
she is so
and
brilliant.
Indy Hartwell.
She is,
brilliant.
She is so brilliant. She's one of the best knockouts on the roster right now. She is so entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. And Barry, correct. I agree 100%. This one was definitely a hell of a lot better than the previous one. I totally agree with that. Sid saying, would you like to see Danhausen and Private Party sign with TNA when their contracts are up? Private Party are pretty good. Danhausen, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather have Crazy Steve. But
I've not seen any of Danhausen's matches, so I really can't comment. But I would love to see Private Party. I loved their really good stuff on AEW when it started really getting televised, and that they were incredible.
Yeah, I thought they were good. I like Private Party.
Some of the stuff they did with Matt Hardy was really good too. I would love
to
see
well, he was supposed to be elevating them, wasn't he? And
yeah,
but I don't know. Look at how well the Hardys are elevating Leon Slater. I mean, we'll get to that in a sec. But after the match, the Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich is on her way to the ring when NXT Women's Champion Jacy Jayne makes her appearance felt. Now, what did you think about this moment? I mean, we knew something was coming. I did hear that she was at the tapings.
Yeah.
But are we going to get a Masha versus are we going to get a title versus title, or winner takes all, or what do you think?
I'm hoping if this isn't a title versus title match, then it's definitely going to be them two facing each other at Slammiversary regardless. But if it's not title for title, then it's a wasted opportunity for a TNA knockout to get a big match on against Masha Slamovich and Slammiversary.
Yeah.
and it's just another WWE talent stealing the spotlight in my eyes. So unless they make this title for title or add some huge stipulation into this match, it's just going to be another WWE talent taking the Knockouts place.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be an opportunity at some point that a TNA talent takes an NXT title. They have to.
And Masha would be brilliant if it do this. Masha would be fantastic because it would really build her up run as Knockouts champion too.
But wouldn't it be really cool for her to then say, there you go, Jordan, you couldn't do it, but I can.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Get Jordan Grace back in to really piss her off. Go help them each other.
You never know. I mean, it could be a way to bring on some kind of feud there with her. I don't know. But again, I honestly believe that there is a potential there for a title versus title.
I hope so.
Fingers crossed on that one.
Tommy, if you're listening, please, I do hope you consider it.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth considering. Jacy is going to beat Jordan at Evolution. I'm sure she is. Yeah, maybe. First class with the NXT tag titles. Yeah, we could see that happening as well, Barry. Definitely. Right. Jake Something obviously has his sights set on the TNA International Championship held by Steve Maclin, who then tells Jake to bring it on, basically.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I thought that was cool. I like the way sort of he came into sort of focus there. I thought that was cool.
Like, hello, I'm right here.
Yeah, that was a cool moment. I enjoyed that. We then go back to the ring where Mustafa Ali, after a very good match with John Styles, defeats him in the Call Your Arms match. I thought this was a good, solid match, actually. I thought it was really good. John Skyler looked good. And, of course, you had Tasha and Jason Hodge were very much kind of in John Skyler's corner, weren't they?
Yeah.
Which I thought was good.
Loved it.
Yeah, that was good. Then after the match, Mustafa Ali is about to strike his allies with a steel chair when Cedric Alexander makes his shocking TNA debut. Alexander stands tall alongside the Great Hands and Tasha Steelz. I like the moment where Mustafa Ali was sort of kind of took
it's like
Tasha Steelz' hand, and then Cedric sort of kind of took the other hand, and there was a moment there.
Yeah,
these then went back behind Cedric. So that there's some interesting stuff there.
Therefore, wants a piece of the mother.
I think it's. I think this is cool. Paul. Now, we touched on this last week. I said that Jake Something is an incredible wrestler. I like him. I think he's a great wrestler. But you're correct. I think his gimmick is not great. It doesn't. I think it worked well on the indies, but I don't think it transposes well onto a weekly kind of a weekly show like this. I think he needs to come up with something else. I think he would make an amazing monster. Stick a mask on him, create the next Abyss. That's what I think. But there you go. Cedric and Ali will end up in cahoots. You heard it here first from Summer. I think we're going to get Ali versus Cedric Alexander at Slammiversary.
Definitely.
That could be interesting for the leadership of Order 4, I guess. Oh my God, what's going on with the masked dog over there?
Yeah, he's soft. So I need to lots of things.
Yeah, having fun by the sound of it.
Yeah.
Matt Cardona steps up to the system backstage. Are we seeing a babyface turn for him?
Yeah, I think we are. Matt Cardona's been Mr. Nice Guy.
Bless him.
Shotzi Blackheart's now king of the Indies. So Matt Cardona is. I'm just trying to wind him up now.
I think so.
So Matt Cardona's got to show us off the side. Get Brian Myers back on his side to back him up more.
Yes, let's bring the major players back. Hello, Hakeem. Thanks for joining us, buddy. With regards to the hometown man, I am fully behind it. I love it. I think it's a great gimmick. It's up there with Shark Boy and Curry Man. I'm sorry, brilliant. Absolutely love the hometown man. I absolutely love it. Eric Young attacks Matt Hardy at ringside, allowing the Northern Army to take control in their match. The referee catches Young on his second attempt and ejects him from ringside. The Hardys hit Icarus with a plot twist. We love the plot twist. Jeff soars from the
amazing, that move.
It's a good move. Jeff soars with the Swanton Bomb to score the victory over them. Good again, solid match from the Hardys.
Yeah,
nothing too.
You wouldn't think 40 years and they're still putting on bangers like that. That's just incredible.
They're doing an incredible job.
Yeah,
incredible job. Somerset saying if he'd actually signed, we would care, but he doesn't, so we don't. It's true. To be honest, it is true. If he would just commit, then we might start giving a shit about Matt Cardona. But he fleets in and out, and I think it just gets on people's nerves. After the match, the Hardys call out Leon Slater, who is looking to make history by becoming the youngest X Division champion of all time when he challenges Moose at Slammiversary. I thought this was, again, another cool moment, and I love the way the Hardys are putting over Leon. I think it's they're doing a really good job of it as well, don't you think?
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job.
I think so. I 100% do. Kemper saying he thinks Maclin is staying. Well, so do I. I don't think it. I think sorry, let me just. I'm trying to catch up on everything that's in the thing. I think Maclin's. Icarus is a stupid name. Pick a character from great mythology that wasn't a loser. That's true. EY hasn't been the same since Edmonton Oilers lost the second straight Stanley Cup final at Florida Panthers. It's true. He hasn't. That's what it is. He's totally pissed off with it. He's totally done him in. But I think they're doing a great job, and again, it's what Matt Hardy could have been doing with Private Party if they'd allowed it to happen, but he didn't really get the opportunity to do this. Anyway, after that, Leon Slater joins Tom Hannafan and Matthew Rabel on commentary as the X Division champion Moose takes on Shane Saber and Jake Painter. Moose sends a message to Slater as he dominates both of his opponents. Moose spears Painter to score a quick pinfall victory. After the bell, Moose looks to inflict more damage, but Slater confronts him in the ring.
Our boys are on up.
Again, Moose, Moose obviously being the heel, and Leon Slater being, of course, the over babyface. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a fucking brilliant match. That alone had me thinking Slammiversary is going to be a banger. And then they announced the tag match and the world title match before Mike Santana getting involved. And then even then I thought he's going to get in there. So it's like 3 huge matches for Slammiversary. And wow, I'm already this is already like one of the most probably best Slammiversary since 2018 when we had Mask versus Hair. That's like always going to be one of the Slammiversaries I fall back on as one of the best. So
no, I get it. And Paul, I think you're right. I think the schedule does fit the Hardys well. They do get that little bit of time to recuperate and get themselves ready for the next set of tapings. I think it works well. But Bonkers will we see Natalia Masha? I think we could see that. I think that's a Slammiversary match.
That would be amazing. That would be brilliant if they get it for Slammiversary Bound for Glory, or next time when they're up in Edmonton next. So that'll be Victory Road, I think it is.
Or maybe Victory Road, maybe not. Yeah,
that would be really cool.
We know Natalia is spending time at NWA at the moment, but I'm pretty certain that wouldn't stop anything. Right, what's this going on here? Is TNA Weekly Show on YouTube at 1 or the next day? I believe it's the next day. As far as I'm aware, I think last week it was on at the same. I think it was what they call simulcasted.
Yeah,
I think as far as I'm aware, that was a one-off.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. They haven't advertised it as a simulcast for this week, so I'm hoping it's not. Because I think if they start giving it away for free too often, then you start pissing a lot of people off. Joeker, last year's Slam.
Oh, last year's Slammiversary was incredible, but you asked me to think of a Slammiversary off the top of my head. Sami Callihan versus Pentagon Jr. That match just brings that Slammiversary to my mind almost straight away. But
that was good. That was good. Yeah.
Since the pandemic has ended, every Slammiversary has been really, really solid and just as good, if not better. But that match with Sami Callihan, all the build towards that with Sami and Pentagon, it just made that whole event stand out so much.
Yeah, and it was a really good match as well.
Yeah,
really
good, brilliant match.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, after a great main event street fight, Mike Santana with a spin to block defeats AJ Francis.
Fucking great match this one.
That was
match of the year so far.
Jesus Christ, it was a hell of a match. And again, I said this, I put it on the socials during the week that, since AJ Francis joined TNA, he's been a fantastic asset.
Definitely.
And proved that actually, when you give him a bit of ring time, the dude can actually go.
Yeah.
All right, he made a couple of or a boo boo, which he wasn't, or they couldn't seem to let him live it down.
Yeah.
But man, if you are not down with AJ Francis right now, I don't know what to tell you, because I think he's doing a fantastic job. But we'll see. Now, Kay saying, why does most TNA wrestlers leave TNA when their contracts expire and not sign a new contract? I don't believe that's the case, mate. So, I mean, if we look at recently, I mean, Eddie Edwards pretty much resigns every time.
Eddie Edwards is in the company
Roseberry
for like 10 years.
Maclin resigns. Slamovich resign, and recently we've had a load of re-signings.
Yeah.
I mean, even Josh Alexander. At the end of the day, I think he re-signed 3 times.
He re-signed 3 times, and he took a third of less money than his last time round.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to offer the money, then he's going to go. At the end of the day, that's the way it goes. But sorry, Kai, I just want to mention that. Yeah. After the match, Mike Santana makes it clear he's coming after the TNA World Championship, and he wants a shot in his hometown of New York City at Slammiversary, and then obviously the Impact goes up there. And like Paul's saying, he's turned him around. He's one of the best. AJ Francis, is a fantastic heel. He promotes TNA like nobody's business. I think he's great. I think First Class is a fantastic stable.
Pardon me?
It's done wonders for Casey Navarro. I do think they need to bring somebody else in. I think they need a third, even if it's a female.
Yeah.
Maybe to add to First Class. I think that would be really cool. But I think they need another, But there you go. David Bennett, why do you think TNA is better than WWE or AEW?
Consistency.
I think their consistency there, and I think that they are. I think the talent are allowed to do more. I think we get better matches for that reason. That the talent are allowed to do a little bit more. You don't get the over the top, millions and millions of kickouts either, like you do on AEW. You don't get that so much on WWE, but you certainly get it on AEW, where you're kicking out of moves left, right, and center. And I don't think you don't get some of the ridiculousness that you get from AEW when stuff gets overdone. That's what I think. I think the storytelling is pretty good. I mean, I know that Somerset sometimes feels that it's a little bit thin, but I think the storytelling is good. And I think one of the things that they do really well is if they need to build something quickly, they're really good at doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They one of the last specials they had. I'm trying. I get these mixed up. They had I've forgotten the names of both of them now. But literally after Rebellion, we have the 2 specials in between. Literally within 3 weeks of each other, and the one of them was built up in 2 weeks, and it absolutely it was just one of the best shows of the entire year.
Exactly, Somerset as well. I totally agree with that, right? And I've said this so many times before, that for me, TNA, or even when it was Impact Wrestling, but TNA Impact Wrestling, because they don't have 20 hours of stuff, right? Because they don't have that. then I get to pretty much watch everything.
Yeah.
I don't miss anything, and I only have a certain amount of time. My time is quite precious. You know, I work a lot of hours. I've got a lot of projects on the go, different things, and I've got a family, and I need to spend time with all of them. I can't be, you know, I can't be spending 6, 7, 8 hours watching wrestling every week. I can't.
Yeah.
It's just impossible for me. So for me, it really does allow me. To consume all of it and then be able to do things like this, because I think if I wasn't I think if it wasn't for the fact I can consume pretty much everything TNA put out, I wouldn't be able to do the show.
Yes, it's one of the reasons why I stopped watching WWE back in 2018. It was just too much going on, and it was too much of the same thing. I found TNA, and then that was just perfect for me. And then AEW came along. I tried to watch that. I enjoyed All In. I enjoyed All Out. I enjoyed the start of Dynamite right the way through till about April, but all the stuff they did building up to that was sort of same old. And then after Christmas, it all just sort of stagnate. But I thought I'll keep watching. Come April 2020. I just couldn't be bothered to get back into it when I was able to get back to watching wrestling again. Because April 2020, I was in hospital for 5 months. But coming back from them, catching up and everything, I just thought TNA was the only one I could stick with. It's the only one I was interested in. I was trying to catch up. I remember all three promotions, watching highlights while I was away. And TNA was the only one that really kept me interested.
Exactly. I love TNA. And I'm proper into this, into the rest. I've long accepted the fact that at the end of the day, the majority of pro wrestlers would, aim for the big money, and they want to be in the big leagues. They want to be in WWE. AEW doesn't appeal to me at all. I think if I was a wrestler, other than the money, AEW wouldn't appeal to me. I'd want to get to WWE at the end of the day. That would be my, that would be the pinnacle. But we'll see. Britt Baker said that she wants to leave AEW. Would you sign? I can't see her signing though. I'd like it because
she's a great, incredible talent. I would like to see her because she'd be one I would see with first class.
I think she's more likely to be one that would get signed and go straight to a main roster. At WWE. So, and we just wouldn't be able to compete with what they would offer. So that's the way I look at it. But anyway, let's have a chat about this Thursday, dude. Let's have a little chat about this Thursday. So we've got an interesting show planned by the looks of it. So we've got The Iinspiration versus Tessa and Victoria Crawford. Like I said, Victoria Crawford's back in there. I think those two would make a pretty good team.
They're gelling brilliantly.
Yeah, really.
That's probably one of the few good things that came from Robert Stone coming in.
Yeah, man. I think they seem to complement each other really, really well. So that's really good. We've got Jake something versus Mance Warner, so that should be a hard hitting.
Jake's going to put him in his place for what he did to Tommy, and then he's going to turn his attention to Steve Maclin. That's his plan. Maclin's just there. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting one, definitely. We've got Tasha Steelz is going to address Ali and Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, everyone wants a piece of the mother, so she needs to let them know where they stand.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get Killer Kelly versus Masha Slamovich in the chain match, obviously for the KO Championship.
Oh yes.
Looking forward to that one. That should be pretty good. I'm sure there's some interesting moments in that one. Yes, Matthew, I heard about that with Rich Swann. He's looking incredible now. It's such a shame. It's such a shame. The problem is with Rich is he does silly things, and it's not been one-offs. It's happened a few times. So I just hope that he can keep himself in a good place, because at the moment he looks like he's incredible shape.
He's managed a full year sobriety, and he's looking in amazing condition.
Yeah,
he's been doing a lot of work with Jake Christ.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
those two have been looking absolutely incredible. I would love to see them teaming up together and doing some tag team matches as well.
I think Rich and Jake would make a fantastic tag team. Fantastic tag team. So, yeah, there is a possibility there. You never know. Roy, do you think WD will buy TNA in the future? No.
No.
Okay. We then got. I'm not even going to elaborate on it because I'm fed up of dealing with that question. We're then going to get the.
Shame on you, Kurt.
Yes. We're going to get the King's speech with Frankie Kazarian, of course, the king of TNA.
Yes, the king of TNA.
Yeah, man, definitely. Rich Swann was lucky not to go to jail following a woman home and trying to break into their house is particularly low conduct, even for a wrestler. Yeah, that was kind of That's why he's not back. I mean, TNA are not going to put up with that. But there you go. We're also getting Matt Cardona versus Eddie Edwards.
Yes.
Are we going to see a little bit more from Brian Myers, who's kind of like, I don't know.
He's on the fence about attacking Matt.
He's definitely on the fence.
Yeah.
Isn't he? He's definitely on the fence. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll see.
We could see system meltdown.
We could. Eric, have a great day, fellas. Talk to you next week. Okay, buddy.
Take care, Eric.
And we've got the other match that we've got is Trey Miguel versus Nick Nemeth. So last week we had Zach versus Ryan.
Yeah,
and this week Trey and Nick. So yeah, it should be. I think that's going to be an amazing match. I think they faced off before, right?
Yes, that was a damn good match. Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. Should be good. I'm sure there'll be some shenanigans from Ryan.
Well, there'll be some shenanigans from the Rascalz.
I'm sure. But we're all for the Rascalz, right?
Yeah.
There you go. They have that Peacock deal still, I think. Okay. Sorry, what's that related to?
They're talking about where they could put the Impact library if they buy, because they've got WWE've got ECW, WCW, all the stuff from the Attitude Era.
I see.
They've got nowhere to put it, and they're jumping from network to network and to now they're on Netflix. So where are they? It's like it's going to cost them too much to buy out everything.
No, I'm telling you, they're not buying TNA. They're not buying TNA. Right? Let me put it to you this way, right? I'm a businessman, and I know for a fact that if I wanted to buy a business, I'm not going to help make it better and become more valuable before I buy it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying. That's all we have time for, guys. That is pretty much all we've got time for this week. We've done well there, though, to be fair, Joe.
Yeah.
We've done well there because we didn't really have a lot to talk about this week. We're almost on an hour there, so we're doing all right. But guys, if you want to show your support for TNI-UK, then please feel free to super sticker us or head over to prowrestlingtees.com/Total Nonstop Impact for some great shirts, or head over to our exclusive spreadshirt merch store. Link, of course, is down below. I can't wait to start telling you about Bison by Design brand, but we'll get there. All TNI shows are available for all you listeners on the Go Fans Audio and SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you list your favorite shows. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can follow me on Twitter at JKEmptySpace. You can jump onto Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, look for #EmptySpace, #IntoTheVoid, or fancy secure taste buds and your sense of humor, #DailyEagle. But approach with open mind, and you just might keep your sanity.
Sanity.
Over the last weekend, and to Monday, Tuesday, I managed to crack over 300,000 views on one of my videos uploaded to YouTube. It's the most viewed video. It's only about 3 seconds long, and it broke. It went like 30 times as high as the most viewed video I had on previously. And that was an absolute crazy start to the week. So if you guys do get the chances to find it, look for it. A man walks into a bar, and you'll see what happens.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll drop the link in the comments too for everyone who just as a cheap plug for my channel too.
Good lad. I appreciate it. And don't forget, guys, I have also this week uploaded the interview of when I met Harley Hudson.
The link for that's in the chat. It's in the description already, guys.
Go and check it out, guys. Go and check it out. It was a good interview. And okay, so if you want to follow Total Nonstop Impact on the socials, you can find us everywhere at We Talk Impact. That's where you find us. Make sure you go and give us a follow. Really do appreciate it. Of course, don't forget to share us around. Let everybody know. Let all the TNA fans know about the channel. It is solely dedicated to total non-stop action wrestling, guys. Go check that out. If you want to know more about the Bison, you can find me on the X at Lord Bison 45. I'm doing quite well, actually. I'm heading towards 3,000 follows now. So feel free to follow me if you don't already, and also take a look at my TikTok, which is at Bison by Design. Go and check that out. You can follow my fitness journey, and I do a lot of inspiration stuff as well, trying to help other people with sort of inspirational quotes and all that kind of stuff. So go and check that out. Please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of the great content coming out from the TNA UK and US guys each and every week, of course, with our exclusive TNA related content. Because that's what we do. We love to talk about TNA. That's what we do. With all that said, I, of course, have been Bison. He has been the Joker. And this has been episode 237 of Impacted. Take care, guys.
Much love to the TNI tribe. We'll see you next week, guys. Take